Hey everybody, I'm here with a little tutorial. This is the Skyrunner manipulation that I use for my photo percent route, and I'll continue a little bit into the photo percent run once I get the manipulation and show you how that's done. This is the only manipulation that you actually need for photo percent. It is possible to do it unmanipulated, but that's just a big headache, and this is very easy. I didn't realize how easy it was, and I feel like it's very consistent. There is another Skyrunner manipulation route that they're using now in the any percent route, where you pick up a secret herb from the ghosts. I think that the battle is slightly slower, and I feel like it's less consistent. You might want to check that out if you're wanting to use the same manipulation in any percent and photo percent. And obviously, if you already know it, there's no need for you to be watching this tutorial anyway. Just use that; it'll work fine in photo percent. Don't worry about it. Now, a few things to note if you're new to RNG manipulation. It's important that the character names are just one character. All my character names are one character right now. The other thing to note is Jeff, in a typical speedrun, Jeff will be at level 4 after coming here to the lab. That's if you just fight the 3 enemies in the Brick Road Maze and nothing else. Now, if you get unlucky, like if one of the protoplasms calls for help, or if you get into some fights in the pond cave for some reason, it's actually okay if you get all the way up to, he's at level 6 right now just for this demonstration. With his HP at 34, it would be totally fine, you wouldn't even have to worry about it, but let's just say that he had full health. So this will put him up at 48 HP. That would not work for this manipulation, but if you unequip or drop the home sat, everything should be fine. Just make sure you do that first. Another important thing to note is that if you still have the boiled egg for some reason, it would be in this slot right here. Make sure you use it or drop it because you need the bad key machine to be 2 cursor movements. Alright, with that being said, let's get started. Go ahead and talk to him, just mash A and L. This is not part of the manipulation, but if you do it now, you don't have to do it after the reset. Alright, so just stand right under the phone. You can be a little left of this, maybe even a little right of this. I like to stand like directly there, so this should be perfect. As soon as he says alright, you can go ahead and reset your console or your emulator. It's also important that your save file is in file number 1. Probably should have mentioned that first. So go ahead and bring up your file. Okay, so what I did there is I walked straight left and up left into Andonitz. I'm like directly underneath him, that should be fine. And then for the next part, I like to hold left until I see Andonitz start to move up, and then move up left into the Skyrunner. So dismiss this text, left, and then he started to move. I guess I started to move a little bit before he moved. But you do want to see him move up. If he moves some other direction for some reason, things are most likely not set up right, and you'll have to reset and try again. There's a few things you can look out for in the Skyrunner sequence to know if you're on track or not. And if you're off, you might as well just reset and try it again. The first thing being in Foreside, most people don't think the NPCs have any indication, but it's possible that the guy in red might be facing left. He needs to be facing down, otherwise you can just reset. So he was facing down, that's fine. But the real indicator is coming up in the desert. And I'll try to pause the screen so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. There's a monkey about halfway through the sequence in the desert, and he's going to move right behind the tree underneath the oasis. So let me get ready to pause it here. Okay, so he moved right behind the tree there, and that's an indication that everything should be totally fine to keep going. Now, in this particular save, I'm demonstrating Ness is at level 10. That would be fairly typical for a non-manipulated Onett. If you have manipulated Onett, you'll be at a level 9. 90 HP. Either way, it'll work. He has 93 in this. If he has a lot more than that, the manipulation will still work, but the timing on the stairs will probably be off. I am also going to demonstrate a level 11 Ness. There's just one more turn you'll do in the battle that will make up for him being level 11. But typically, you won't be any higher than a level 11 in a speed run, because that would mean you did a lot of extra grinding. That's obviously assuming that you skipped into 3. You skip the whole Twoson sequence because you skipped the cliffs. I may do a tutorial for that as well, for the cliff skips. Alright, so just mash A and L, but it's important not to overmash. You don't want to bring up any extra text, because that will throw off the manipulation. Okay, so when Jeff joins, you're going to dismiss the text and then walk upright and straight right into the door. Okay, now you're going to bring up your goods menu. You can't fuss around too much, because if the bottom screen with the HP pops up, it'll throw everything off. So and it's just one cursor movement, so A, right, A. Now you're in goods and everything's fine. You can take your time here. You're going to move left to Jeff's inventory, press A, and then down 2 to the bad key machine. And then just hold right and go out the door. So just hold right, come all the way up under the ladder here, and then you're going to AB 5 times. Now out here you're going to hold left until you get to the left side of this grave, and then just turn back around. You can be slightly farther right from where I was. Don't mash anything, because mashing can sometimes throw off the order of things. So yeah, like I was saying, you don't want to be any farther left than I was underneath the gravestone. I probably should have paused there and kind of shown it, because I think there is an RNG3 trigger there. Okay, so Jeff will die first turn. That'll always happen. Like I said, Ness is at 93 HP here. I don't know what the level 10 variants can be. I've never seen him much higher than a 93. So the first turn you're going to press B 3 times and then 2 cursor movements to defend. So B, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 cursor movements to defend for both Ness and Paula. So he hits Paula for 29, and then he hits Ness for 30. It's possible if Ness had like a slightly higher defense, he would hit him for less. Now, don't press anything, just defend. Paula's gonna die. Then he's gonna hit Ness for 24. Now you press B 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then defend. And then just one more defend. This will give Ness the cold. And now you're ready to run. It's going to be 2 cursor movements to run, so either down left or left down. Real quick, I'm going to pause and get rid of the music here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the sound cues coming out of here. So the music for Threed, in the graveyard section, it kind of goes do 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 do. And so I hold right and stand directly under the ladder of the grave, and I wait a little bit. So the timing for me, this is just what I've found that works for me. You walk right and goes do 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 do, move. So it's do 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 do, up. And then that'll get you into the thing. Then you walk straight down the ladder, and then at that point there's different music, and there's a bass beat. It goes boom, boom, boom. So I move straight down the ladder, and then on the second bass beat I move left. This will not always work, and I'll actually show you a fix if you get the timing wrong. But, so you move all the way down the ladder, and it's bum, bum, and on the second bum, you move straight left, and that should get your timing perfect to clip you out of bounds. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and try this right now. So again, it's 2 cursor movements to run away. 1, 2, run. Okay. Up. Then move. Bum, bum. And that gets the timing, so I got it there. I have noticed it's slightly different on console. The way I remedy that is I don't go all the way down. I go down to just where you get off the ladder and I move left. That's worked for me on console. I'm playing on emulator right now just for the purposes of this tutorial. But with that being said, now we are out of bounds. And for the photo percent route, you're going to move directly upright, pop a skip sandwich. So there's Summer's music. You're going to wait till you hear the Summer's music again. There we go. So either I don't have the town map for some reason. I don't know why I don't have it on this save, because I would definitely recommend picking it up unless you are doing full ONET manipulation, in which case we'll worry about getting the map later. But so this is the second Summer's music, meaning we're in the restaurant now. And this will be your first photo out of Winters. Now after this photo, you're gonna just go back exactly the same way you were going. So just hold down left. Okay, now right here, when you see this screen down here, you're gonna bring, and it's the hotel music as well, you're either gonna town map or Soundstone. Now you're in the Summers Hotel. Go outside, pick up this photo quick, and then just walk straight back in. Okay, now check your HP. He's at 10, so we're gonna have to let it tick down for a bit. We want it to be at 4. If you were at an odd number, you'd want it to be at 3. So just one more tick. Okay. So he's at 4 HP now. Now you're gonna come outside. Can't dilly-dally too much, you gotta walk right down to the stairs and let Ness die on the stairs. Now here you're gonna be pressing B select, and that'll select no to that first option. Now the second part, make sure you hold right and then press A. That's the only way to get that one right. So here it's okay that we're doing some stuff in the menu. I didn't already prepare this right. Normally you would want the second file to be empty, but I'll go ahead and I'll delete that right now. We're going to copy this file over to file 2, and then this will be what we use for the entire rest of the run for doing out of bounds glitches. But right now we're going to open up that file number 1. And now we're out of bounds. Now I don't need to talk too much more about this. I may do a full photo percent tutorial at some point, but I just wanted to show off to people that aren't used to doing that manipulation exactly how I do it. Now there's a few more things I want to show. I want to show if you miss the timing. Let me pull up a save state here. Okay, so this is the very end of the zombie fight. So everything's the same as normal. Now let's say you messed around a little bit too much and you took too long coming down in here. Okay, so the message popped up too early, so you're not going to be able to get that timing. Now, there's a really easy fix to this. It takes longer, so in a speed run, we would prefer not to do it. But Ness is at 10 HP. I'm going to go ahead and pop a skip sandwich. You do want to look out for enemies around here, but that zombie shouldn't be able to get me. So just run straight right out of the graveyard here. Come down to the hotel. Ness's HP is 12, now it's 10. Just to be absolutely safe, I'm going to pop another skip sandwich. So now he's at 16. I'm going to save, but click continue and keep going, don't reset. Alright, so you have 16 HP, that's more than enough to get back up here to the graveyard. Okay, if you see enemies, just despawn them. And keep an eye on your HP, because if you die, then you'll have to do the whole thing again. So 10 HP is fine. That guy will get stuck there. And then come up in here. And just wait on the stairs and die. And essentially it'll have the same effect that it just had in Summers. Although at this point you don't need to copy, because we still want to get that Summers copy set up. It's much more convenient that way. So again, press B. And then write an A. And we're not going to do anything in the first menu here. We're just going to go ahead and open up the file again. Okay, but now we're in a slightly different position. We're in the hotel now. We also have 16 HP, so there's no need to pop a skip sandwich. I'm going to walk straight up right. Okay, so now we're in the restaurant again. I just walked straight up and right. And again, we're just going to hold down right out of here. It'll be a little bit different position than I showed before, but same basic thing. We're going to look for the hotel music, but also to see the visual cue of the room below it. Okay, so now we're back in the Summers Hotel, and just do everything the same way I did before. If you don't even want to deal with trying to learn the timing on the stairs, it really only probably wastes about 30 seconds or so to run down and do it in the hotel that way. And there's a small chance if you're on the stairs. Let me try to show it off actually. Let's see. If you go a little bit too early on the stairs, it can actually soft lock the game, which is going to be a lot more of a time waste. No, that didn't work. Let me try it one more time. Yeah, pretty much if you go too early, it's going to get you in this state of going up and down the stairs, but you won't be able to do anything else. And at that point, you just have to reset. I can't actually replicate that here, so I'm sorry about that. But one more thing I want to demonstrate real quick is if Ness is at a level 11. So, sorry, here's the beginning of the level 11 fight. Jeff is already dead, but Ness is at a 105 HP. And you're going to do everything exactly the same, so B 3 times, defend, defend. Defend, defend. B 9 times. Defend. And then one more defend. So everything up to this point has been exactly the same, but Ness's HP is too high to get the timing right. So the remedy for that is do B 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, defend. So just that 4 HP will be the difference in the timing. And now the timing should be exactly the same as before, even though his HP is higher. it should still work the same. So da 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 da, up, then bum bum, and see, timing's exactly the same, and we're good to go. So if you have any questions, you can send me a message on YouTube, a comment. If you want to message me on Twitch, that's fine as well. Like I said, the main reason I do this manipulation as opposed to the other one is I just feel like it's more consistent for me. There's no tutorial right now for the other one where you get the secret herb from the ghost. If you really wanted that additional secret herb just for safety, the fights are pretty similar in time, in the amount of time it's going to take. But hopefully this helps anyone out, and this is really all you need for Photo%. You don't need to do a full ONET manipulation. This is the only manipulation I use other than the ONET manipulation that I've been trying to incorporate. So yeah, I hope this helped out. It's kind of hard to describe the timing of the stairs. It's probably, if you have an emulator available to you, you should definitely just get a save state going, like in that last turn of the zombie fight, and just figure out what works for you. All that's important is that you go into the stairs at the same time every time, and then you move left at the same time to get the timing right. So I hope everyone has found this helpful, and have a nice day.